If you love peanut butter and chocolate, you are going to love these high-protein peanut butter cups. They have 9 grams of protein per serving, but more importantly, they do not taste like protein powder. So if you love desserts that taste like real desserts, you're in the right place. To get started, you'll need to melt some chocolate chips. I like to do this in a double boiler, which you can make with any small saucepan, and a heat-safe bowl that snugly fits on top of it like this. Fill the saucepan with about 1 inch of water, then bring that to a boil on the stovetop. While you wait on that to warm up, add 1 cup of chocolate chips to the bowl. Next, add 2 teaspoons of coconut oil, which will help thin the texture and make the melted chocolate a little easier to work with. Place that bowl over the boiling water and wait a few minutes for the chocolate chips to melt. You can prepare a muffin pan while you're waiting on this by lining it with 9 parchment paper liners. Alternatively, you could use reusable silicone muffin cups like these and just arrange them on any small baking sheet. Either way will work. Now that the chocolate's melted, add 2 teaspoons to each muffin cup. Spread this out using the back of your teaspoon so the chocolate will slightly go up the sides of the cup. Place this on a flat shelf in your freezer so the chocolate can set. Now it's time to make the peanut butter filling. I'm opening a new jar of peanut butter for this, so I'm going to quickly use my hand mixer with just 1 beater attached to make sure it's mixed well. If you're new here, this is my favorite way to stir any all-natural nut butter because it takes about 30 seconds and it gets the oil that can float to the top nicely mixed back in. Be sure to use peanut butter that only has peanuts and salt on the label for the best results. Add a half cup of creamy peanut butter to a medium bowl, followed by a 1/4 cup of unflavored collagen peptides. The collagen adds protein to this mixture without adding a noticeable flavor. If you would rather use protein powder, you can experiment with your favorite one. I tried using just 1 tablespoon of my usual unsweetened plant-based protein powder in this recipe, and I found the flavor to be totally overwhelming, so experiment at your own risk. Next, add 2 tablespoons of maple syrup and an 1/8 teaspoon of fine sea salt. Mix this together until it looks thick. In case you're curious, I did try adding 1 extra tablespoon of collagen to boost the protein even more. It works, but the texture isn't quite as nice as compared to the original version. So I recommend trying this recipe with just the 1/4 cup of collagen to start with. The more you get used to making these, the more you can experiment with them. That's also why I like to start with a smaller batch, just so you can get used to the process and then customize them as you see fit. Use a heaping tablespoon to divide this mixture into 9 balls. I like to roll these between my hands and flatten them slightly so they have a consistent look. Now remove the pan from the freezer and add a peanut butter piece to the center of each cup. Going back to that melted chocolate, which is still nice and melted thanks to that double boiler setup, I'm going to add exactly 2 teaspoons of melted chocolate to the top of each peanut butter cup. Spread this out with the back of your teaspoon. You should use all of the melted chocolate for this, so don't be surprised if you're scraping the bowl for the last bit of chocolate coating by the time you get to your last peanut butter cup. Transfer these to the freezer to set, which should take about 10 to 15 minutes. Once the chocolate's firm, you can peel away the wrapper and they're ready to eat. Because we added coconut oil to the melted chocolate, these are best served chilled. They will melt in your fingers if you hold onto them for too long. So keep these in an airtight container in your fridge for the best texture. These should keep well for weeks, but I wouldn't count on them lasting long because they taste so delicious. If you want to lower the calories a bit, you can also skip the full chocolate coating. In this case, you'll only need about a 1/4 cup of chocolate chips and 1 teaspoon of coconut oil. You'll press the peanut butter filling directly into the bottom of the muffin cup and then top it with chocolate. Freeze until it's firm and you'll get a similar treat with just a little less chocolate. You can also turn these into holiday shapes. I made protein peanut butter eggs this year for Easter by shaping the filling on a lined baking sheet instead of using a muffin pan. Or turn these into heart shapes for Valentine's Day with a cookie cutter. You can find the printable recipe for these over on my website, detoxinista.com, and be sure to check out my other videos here for more.